Welcome back, my beautiful people. I finally did it. I made the video on what I cook my dogs. I have pieced it together because it's been a work in progress. I do want to say I have added something. Make sure you put in coconut oil. I will usually just take 2 spoonfuls, maybe 1/4 cup, put that in with it. It's very beneficial for your dogs. Sorry, my dogs are kind of running around crazy right now. It's give or take. You don't have to be very precise at what you put in there. Just make sure that you do put some coconut oil in there. Also, have your dogs on a vitamin. I cannot stress this enough. If you decide that you're going to continue with kibble food or any type of regular dog food, still put them on a vitamin. Dog food is cooked for long periods over a very high temperature. And with this high temperature, it loses a lot of the nutritional value. I stayed on kibble longer than I probably would have if I would have known this. I was so concerned that my dogs would not get the nutritional values that they needed that I continued with their kibble food. It's ridiculous what we don't know about. Kibble food's not regulated. There is so much going on that we are not, I got an audience, that we are not even aware of. Make sure you put them on a vitamin. I showed what I use in this video, but I also have them on an omega-3 vitamin. Dogs can get their omega-3s through fish. Some dogs will react to fish. I do want you to have that in the back of your mind. The best thing is anchovies. I know, what is it? They'll feed all kinds of different fish. But you have to watch with fish too, are the toxins in fish. Bigger fish have more toxins because they eat smaller fish and the toxins will accumulate over time. Anchovies, being the smallest chain of the fish, have the least amount of toxins. So if you're going to incorporate fish, anchovies is a very great place to start. I do not personally feed my dog fish. I did at one point and we had a major reaction. So I did it through dog food though. I did not do it through regular human food. And I just have not tried it yet, and that could have been why they reacted so poorly. But I cannot stress enough, no matter what you feed your dogs, get them on a vitamin. Well, I hope you enjoy this video. Have a great one, and thank you for watching. So we're gonna make the stew that my dogs pretty much live on. We're gonna start with, of course, the crock pot. Now you can make this, put it together before work, get home from work, it'll be ready to go. Or you can let it cook overnight. Again, nothing complicated. 2 small chicken breasts or 1 large chicken breast. Sometimes when you buy them from Jack's Market, they're just chickens on steroids. When I get them from there, I usually will only put 1 in. These are not from there, so I've got 2. They are frozen. I keep my chicken breasts frozen. Just put them in the crock pot frozen. You don't need to thaw them out. Put them in. Next, I'm going to add, beans. You can use black beans, kidney beans. I drain them. Just 1 can. I believe it's, I don't know if it can focus here. Woo. So just 1 can. Again, pour it in. Now, I'm going to pour in, I have 2 cups of uncooked rice. Not cooked, easy peasy, pour that in. Oops, sorry, there you go. So now we have the chicken breast, the beans, and the rice. Now, I almost always put in the green beans. I don't know why this is not focusing, but almost always the green beans. And always the carrots. You can use fresh carrots. You'll have to cut them up. sometimes dogs have a hard time digesting fresh carrots because they're a little bit stiffer. So frozen usually have no problems. So you can do chopped spinach, broccoli are my two favorite go-tos. I've been in a spinach kick right now, so they're getting a bag of spinach. This one is 12 ounces. Again, it's not a big deal as to the amount. And we are going to pour that right in. Just kind of level it out. Next, I'll usually put in my green beans. Green beans. Okay, now we're getting down to the peas. Butternut squash. You can put that in. I don't know why this isn't focusing. You can put that in. I don't always put it in because it can be on the kind of expensive side. So I do it as a treat. Add it in every now and then. Carrots are another thing I always put in, like I said. So next to carrots. There's really no order to put this in. I do usually, though, put the peas in last. Just because peas can get kind of funky. Not that the dog's really going to care. So, next is the squash. Again, this is a half a bag. The bag is 10 ounces. It's really good for your dogs. They don't always have to have it in there, so I just put it in as a treat. Maybe once every other week or so. And again, I'll use half the bag at a time. So now that's in there. Last will be the peas. Again, 12-ounce bag. It's just from Walmart. I think it's $1 a bag. And you can see this makes a full crock pot. So we're going to put, now we're going to add some water. When adding the water, there's no rhyme or reason as to how much. I will usually just keep adding water until you can kind of see it on the top. So I would probably put just a little bit more water in this. And then we are going to cook this at a medium or low, I should say at a low heat, covered. For about 8 hours. So it is nighttime, so I'm just gonna let this cook all night long. Again, the chicken was put in frozen, the rice was put in uncooked, everything else was frozen as well. The water up till about, you can see it. If it's kind of soupy stewy when it's done cooking, that's fine. More water for your animals, the better. I'll return after this is done. Well, it's now morning. The dinner is done. And I have dogs that are waiting to be fed because they just love this food. One hiding over there. Okay, so this is what it should look like. You can see that there's quite a bit of moisture in there. You're gonna take your spoon. Now there's a lot of water in there. Like I said, you kind of put it in there till you can see it. Rice is cooked. Stir it up. You're gonna want to bring your chicken up. Right here's the chicken. One of them anyways. Now, you're gonna want to chop it up. I don't know if you've ever seen these. This is from Pampered Chef, and it is one of the tools I use a lot when I cook. It just makes it so much easier for this. And you just chop it up. You can hear my dogs whining. They're so hungry. I'm telling you, these dogs, they love this food. So you just chop up your chicken breast. Okay, so that chicken breast is chopped up. You're going to want to bring up your other one. Sorry, I'm running out of space here. So there's the other chicken breast. It's kind of colored from the beans, so don't worry about that. It's fine. And again, chop up your chicken breast. If you need to get one of these cutters, let me know. I do have a lady I work with that sells Pampered Chef, and I can hook you up with them. I think they run roughly, I'm gonna guess, around $25 maybe. But this tool I have used, I've had mine for, shoot, maybe 7 years now. Still as sharp as the first day I had it. So as you can see, that chicken breast is all chopped up. We're going to stir it up again. Just want to kind of get the beans and from the bottom up to the top. Nice thing about this is you can eat it too. You can spice it up if you want. Sit down with your dogs and eat it as well. This is going to be pretty bland though. If you want to eat it, you're going to probably want to add some salt. Like I said, spice it up a bit. But it is an option. The other thing you're going to want to remember, do not feed it hot to your dogs. They're going to gulp right in and they're not used to something being hot. So make sure you do not give it to them hot. So right now, I mean, it's pretty hot. I am going to scoop out. I have 5 dogs, like I said. Another tool I use all the time. This. I don't know if you can see him, but he's patiently waiting. This is a 1/4 cup scooper. Roughly, it's a 1/4 cup per 10, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, a 1/4 cup per 10 pounds. You cut it in half. So my guys get a total of 1/2 cup a day. So they get a 1/4 cup in the morning and they get a 1/4 cup at night. This being a 1/4 cup is just easy. You just scoop it in. Sorry. Put it in the bowl. There's breakfast. That's all you do. I will put this bowl in the fridge. Let it cool down, get cold before I serve them. You've heard a lot of times garlic's not good for your dogs. That is correct. If it's fresh garlic, garlic cloves, you don't want to add garlic to their food. The garlic in this vitamin is minimal, but one great thing with garlic, and the reason why I give this vitamin, fleas, ticks do not like the smell of garlic. Garlic gets in the bloodstream, produces a certain scent, and they do not like it. So if you keep up on this vitamin, which I give I put one in each bowl of food, so they get 2 vitamins a day, especially in the springtime when fleas are more common. It goes by the weight of your dog. You have to look at the back of it. It's just a supplement I recommend they're still waiting on their food, so they're not real mad at, they're not real happy with me. It's a supplement that I recommend doing because you just want to make sure they get all their vitamins, anything that might be lacking a little bit in what you make. Just kind of a preventative. You hear people, oh, they're not going to get everything they need. Just give them a vitamin. But I do not do frontline. I do not do heartworm. That stuff is dangerous with your dogs as well. I've had some very bad reactions to it. I'm all natural when it comes to that. The garlic in this, you will find if you're giving it to your dog on a daily basis, will prevent the fleas. Now, you're going to get fleas occasionally every now and then. If you have rabbits in your yard, if you have different things in your yard, there's going to be fleas in your yard. They're going to pick it up. They're going to bring it in. Doesn't mean that they're going to stay in your home. But the fleas, the ticks do not like the scent in this garlic. And it's a very minimal garlic, so you're not going to hurt your pet. They're begging me for their food. So I'm going to show you what it's like here at feeding time. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, chicken breast, boneless. Do not put bones in it. I know some people will feed their dog bones. Don't do it. It's kind of risky. They can get it stuck in their throat. Boneless is what I go with. The other thing I'm going to hear about is, Lori, you have small dogs, so you're not going to go through as much food as we do. I have 5 dogs. It's the equivalent of feeding an 80-pound dog or 2 40-pound dogs, a 20, 60-pound dog. So I go through more food than most. Or if you have a large dog, I'm going to go through just as much food as you do. The crock pot will get you about 5 days, depending. Sometimes I overscoop. But we'll get you 5 to 7 days. If you have a small dog and you're not going to go through so much food, because it's only good in the fridge for probably about a week and a half, you can freeze it. Like, you could take the proportion sizes, put it in a container, and you can freeze it. Therefore, just pop it out the night before, 2 of them, and feed them that way. And again, when I say half, you know, like my guys get half a cup for 20 pounds, so it's roughly a quarter for 10. Split it in half, do half in the morning and half at night. It's just easier that way. And if you want to start off in the beginning, because you're going to have kibble food lying around, leave some kibble out. If you do the all-day buffet, it's going to be kind of traumatic for them because they think they're going to be wasting away, starving to death because there's no food in their bowl. They're going to think that afterwards later too, but the all-day buffet is a very bad thing, and I'll get another video on that as well. Also, just because I say a quarter cup per 10 pounds does not mean that is something you're going to stick to. That's your starting point. You might have a more active dog. You might have a less active dog. You're going to go accordingly. You're going to find some major changes in your dog when you switch over to this food. They're going to start getting leaner. A lot of dogs are overweight because of what's in the dog food. They're still whining. So you're going to see some positive changes. You're going to think, oh my God, my dog's losing weight. No, your dog's losing fat. You're going to lose some fat, especially if my fatties still are a little overweight from the kibble food. So just note these few things. Don't get discouraged. Don't get upset. Don't stress over this. You have to remember, you're feeding your dogs is human quality food, not the crap in the kibble. I mean, that's a whole nother story I'll get into later. But all right, well, I'm going to show you feeding time at my house. So when you say, Laura, you only have a couple small dogs, you should see my feeding dilemma. So hold on. Can you hear that? I put their food in the fridge. And they're out there waiting by the fridge, out there crying, waiting for their food. They think I forgot to feed them. This is a common thing because they love this food so much. So hang on. Dude, this is hilarious. Did you guys think I forgot your food? Huh? Did you think I forgot? Is it dinner time? Dinner time? It's dinner time! Okay, I don't know if you can see. Right here, I've cut the pill the vitamin in half. I use kitchen shears. These are awesome as well. These are what the pills look like. My dogs get 1 per dish. We're wasting away down here. Quit talking, Mom. People say my dogs will pick around that. I have yet to see a dog, my dogs do not like pills, that will pick around it. They're so engrossed in how good the food is, they're not going to even care. Just cut it in half, put it in the dish, and so this is feeding time at my house. We're going to go over pecking order too. You have to create a pecking order. It's a whole different dilemma, but it's a whole part of the alpha thing. But this is feeding time. They eat side by side. We don't have a problem because I really watch them. But yeah, they're going to gulp that vitamin right down and never even know they ate it.